It's kind of the fluff, but it's okay. Welcome to Meet the Candidate, and for this session, my guest is Tim Benn. He is running for Spokane City Council District 1, Position 1.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is just the get acquainted conversation. There are lots of other forums where you can get into the meat and the detail, but for this one, it's just let's find out about Tim and where did you grow up?
Right here in Spokane. Right here in Spokane, on the north side. And well, I spent a lot of time all over Spokane.
Well, you know the first Spokane question then is always, so what schools did you go to?
I went to several schools. I went to Rogers High School. It was the dominant name that you would recognize. Right. But I actually graduated from a small private school. There was a few things going on at Rogers that I thought, well, this is a distraction, and I wanted to work. So the next year I homeschooled myself so I could work, because I really wanted a car. By the time I graduated, I needed to have a car. So I homeschooled, and then I graduated from a small private school that actually no longer exists. And but at elementary school, I was actually at Evergreen, and I've moved around to a couple of schools. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're trying to scratch back a memory that I'm. Where did I go to school? That was a long time ago. 40 years ago, right?
Okay, but the things that do stick in your memory. What was your favorite outside of class experience growing up there?
Actually, in Spokane, my favorite thing was bicycling. It was traveling every inch of the city. And the whole new thing about bike lanes, I just think it's bizarre because I've traveled every inch of the city and I never thought of having a bike lane. I thought the thing for me when I was a kid was a bicycle was freedom. It was freedom. Now we're seeing it with the line bikes, and of course there's problems downtown. There's complaints there on the sidewalks.
Yeah, there's issues about that.
But there's a lot of people having fun, and so that is the freedom of cycling. So I experienced that until, of course, I got a car and had a family.
Many young men want to press ahead to get a car.
Well, you've got to have a car to have a job these days.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, not everyone, but for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you do some formal schooling after that high school graduation?
Actually, I went right to work, and my first job was pizza delivery, and my first job out of high school because I was working obviously at a younger age. And so I met my wife, I got married, I ended up going to Spokane Community College. Okay. I got 3 business degrees, one in general business, management, and marketing. And then after that, my wife was operating a child care. That was her dream, was to have a child care. We bought our property there in Northeast Spokane, Minnehaha neighborhood, and we've been serving children there for 2 decades, served hundreds of families, and as a partner in the business, I had to go get my child development associate's degree. So, okay. But I've done a lot of things in between. I've got a Class A CDL, so I can drive semi-trucks, and I've done construction and just a lot of different things, policy analyst. And in the child care industry, we had problems with regulations. So I ended up lobbying the legislature as a citizen. Nobody paid me. And it's interesting to go over there and see all the suits that are paid big dollars to influence our government. So that was a big learning experience for me. Actually wrote legislation, got it passed. It was a common sense bill to have the right people inspecting things to keep children safe. And so it was interesting to watch that go through the process. And Jay Inslee signed the bill into law in 2014, I think it was. Okay. So, yeah, exciting experience with my wife. And I never actually wanted to get into childcare. It never came to my mind, but we love it, and so.
So, and you have kids at home?
Yes. Well, one child left. She's a senior next year.
And the other's launched.
So yes, two sons, both adults now, working full-time. In fact, for my campaign, I'm trying to figure out how do I do a campaign photo with the whole family. My boys work different shifts. They work long hours. They're hard workers, so that's good. But how do we get a family photo? So we might not have a family photo with the whole family. So but we'll have the dogs and my daughter, and my wife will be wrangling us to make sure we're dressed and ready for a picture.
Well, maybe you can get the boys in a little cameo on each side.
Right? Can you get away with that these days? Does that work? I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never seen a campaign do that, but we'll see if we can work that in.
Okay. Yeah, busy families can be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of answered a part of the question, what got you interested in politics? It was as a small business owner. That's kind of where that came from.
Well, seeing what was happening in childcare, and I'm also a neighborhood council chair in Minnehaha. I didn't ask for the position. They pretty much gave me no options, and they said,
You got voluntold is the way
I got voluntold, yes. And they said, you're going to be a great advocate because we have a lot of construction, the North-South Freeway coming in, coming through our neighborhood, kind of cutting us off from the city a little bit. And I had some ideas of issues that would bring up. And of course, my ideas came to fruition, and they weren't good ideas of what might happen. We had some car accidents and access issues.
So you're saying what you predicted is what happened with some of the
Yes.
unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences. And we can avoid some of those things if we just plan better and if we listen to the citizens. Unfortunately, we battled for years with some planners, and they just plain didn't listen, and there was consequences. So one of the things that we did get done successfully was get school safety lights in. So the freeway comes in, and people come down Freya, and then you have Cooper Elementary there, and our traffic doubled or tripled over since the time we moved into the house 2 decades ago. So it was a pretty quiet neighborhood, and all of a sudden there's all this traffic. Well, it's right on the corner of 2 arterials, no safety lights. So 6 years of school district says city's issue, city says it's the school district's issue, and we're saying, you guys can't keep crossing guards. They're quitting, they're angry because it's unsafe. And so as a neighborhood council chair, I put in for traffic calming applications every year, 3 years in a row. And we watched other neighborhoods get projects done. And we actually had to go outside of the system, and we went and got a petition signed by all the teachers and staff and parents and families in the neighborhood because it was a problem that was out of control, and we were just completely ignored by the city. So that's when they basically said, you are the chair. But we had to get it done. I mean, I think keeping children safe and families safe, getting their children to school, if that's not a priority, why are we paying taxes?
Yeah, well, that's a good incentive to get involved and
Yes.
to decide that you're going to run. Why pick city council as your place to run?
Well, I think local government is a good place to get started. I see our local government changing what it thinks its role is. It's dabbling in federal politics. It's dabbling in state politics. We have a city council that's gone way off into ideological realms. And I don't think potholes have they don't discriminate. They destroy your car no matter who you are, whether you're conservative or liberal, or it doesn't matter. And we need to solve those problems.
Okay. So this you have run before. Why run this year?
Because I'm running for the same reason I ran last time, and I believe the city council is even more off base than it was before.
Okay. Well, I always close with giving every candidate the opportunity to tell us why should voters choose Tim Benn for Spokane City Council.
Voters should choose Tim Benn because I'm the only candidate that's lived in the district for 2 decades, served hundreds of families, listened to their concerns, and I will represent the people, not special interest. I don't have an agenda except for fulfilling the needs of citizens properly with municipal government.
Okay. Well, that's a good closing, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming in today.
Thanks.